and salutations, everyone. This is Jason BitBender Brink. I am here for the fifth episode of Ahead of the Game, and it's very nice to have been able to continue pushing this forward for over a month now. And gotta mute myself in the background. Sorry about that. And I am absolutely delighted as we continue forward. I've got a ton of stuff to share with you guys today. But before I get into that, I have to do the stuff that Paul says that I have to say, or I get in trouble and he like says things in my ears. So make sure that you like and subscribe this stream wherever you happen to be seeing it. If you're on Twitter, please, please retweet it and tell your friends to get in and watch and share this as widely as possible, because there's all sorts of stuff going on inside the entire Gala Games ecosystem and the extended Galaverse, I guess. So make sure that you tell everyone about it, though, because it can't always just be us saying, hey, there's cool stuff happening. It has to be coming from you guys saying there's cool stuff happening. And so fortunately, we have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. So a couple random small orders of business first, rather one random small order of business before we get into this. And that is that we are going to be reopening Telegram here very shortly. Now, I hate Telegram. I really, really hate Telegram. And the reason that we haven't had Telegram for a long time is because the absolute insane proliferation of scammers. Fortunately, we have managed to start working with a team that can knock some of that stuff down, and we're moving forward with getting our Telegram reopened once some of the sort of deadwood is cleared out in terms of the scam groups and things like that. We know that this is the place that, in addition to Twitter, Telegram is the place where most of Web3 hangs out. And so we want to make that available for people who don't have Discord accounts. Discord accounts, or Discord rather, can be a little bit ungainly for somebody who's just on their phone and on the go. So Telegram is where it is. So we're going to be reopening that for people. So get your friends in there, and you can go to galagames.tel, and it will always link you over to the correct Telegram group. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about here really quickly, and this is not fully finalized yet, but oh man, I just realized this is green. If I show this, it's not going to work. Does this work? Does this look okay? Or is this getting totally greened out by the green screen? I bet it's getting greened out by the green screen. It's a leak, in case you guys can't see it. So there's some pretty substantial changes coming to the economy for Grit. This is something that we've been working on. The ecosystem as it was set up wasn't serving the needs. So there is going to be some additional information and some additional publications that are going to be made available within the fairly near future on exactly how that's going to work. But it's looking like Grit is going to get its own token in a system that is similar to that of Spider Tanks. Gala will still be the primary token in the ecosystem. But there will be a reward currency for those who are playing Grit and who are winning and placing. Now, no abs. Hey, okay, now I'm moving again. Yeah, it's all Paul's fault. Actually, it's not all Paul's fault, Subspace. It is probably the internet's fault. There was probably some hiccup somewhere. Okay, there we go. So moving forward, we're good now, Paul. Yeah, it looks like we're good everywhere that I can see. So I'm gonna keep on moving forward. You guys missed some of the biggest things during that freeze. It was very unfortunate that happened at exactly that time, because all of the answers to all of the mysteries of the universe were revealed during that moment. Even I missed them. It was pretty amazing. Okay, so there's some pretty substantial changes coming for the report system in Spider Tanks. There are, how do I put this? There are sometimes individuals who, and this is true of all games, this is not unique to Spider Tanks, but there are individuals who really enjoy griefing and causing trouble for people. Man, I'm just seeing that over the shoulder thing. You've like really leaned in on the over the shoulder, Paul. I like it. It is substantial there. there are people who like to grief other people and say really, 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 really mean stuff in chat. So as Spider Tanks grows and as the number of users increases, which it is currently doing, there are a lot of reports that are coming through. Now, sometimes these reports come through about people who are doing things that they really shouldn't be doing, and there is also reports that come through that are, you know, just people griefing by abusing the report system. So the way that this is going to be handled, and this is of course all subject to change, but you will have a daily report limit of 3. There'll be a report pop-up and a button that reflects the number of reports that you have left. And let's see here. There's also going to be a mute button on the scorecard that allows you to mute people who have, you know, been causing you issues or who have been abusive in chat, which is obviously not something that anyone likes. And that should persist across encounters. So if you play with one person and you need to mute them, the idea is that you never have to hear that person ever again. You just point, click, and turn off the noise, and it goes away. And you know, then they can go and create another Twitter account and yell at me and talk, you know, say how terrible I am there. So that is the team has worked really, really closely with Game Media to get this designed, and they're hoping to get it implemented here before too terribly long. There's also going to be some pretty cool stuff going, and this is utilizing some of what Rostakip has done with his NFT Guilds platform and using the Game Media API, that there will be custom leaderboard events. So this is a thing that's being worked on. There you will be able to, you know, have a custom event selecting stats that will be tracked for the leaderboard: wins, kills, MVP, repairs, flag holding, chickens collecting, eggs secured. And you can have leaderboards for those specific events. Now, what this does is this allows guilds to have their own events and you know, other smaller events to be set up within the community. This is part of that continual push forward to having something that is a legitimate esport that people can really jump in and dig in on. The TLDR of all of this is the reasons to continue playing Spider Tanks just keep increasing. So I think that this is something that everybody is going to love, and there's so much stuff coming for Spider Tanks, guys. I just had a big call this morning with Levi and Patrick and some of the rest of the team, and also talked to Ditmar for a little bit. I am so incredibly excited about all of this, and I just dropped into the game for the first time in a while the other day, and the changes that have made and the progress that has been made, absolutely staggering. So, yeah, that's that. Now, before we move on, I would like to, we're going to have a special guest on the show here. This is for some Tweety spotlight. This is Chris Miller, the art director, is going to be joining. So let's bring Chris on, and let's. Okay.
Yo,
How you doing, Chris?
hello. Doing great. Just
Good.
living the dream, as they say.
Awesome. Paul, I'm not seeing his screen. I'm just seeing an OBS window. Am I supposed to be seeing this? Or am I just going to go pull it off YouTube? Oh, wait, there we go. Now it's coming through. So this is Chris Pixel Patron, or Pixel Patron, as I like to say, Miller, and he's got some cool stuff to talk about, man. What do you got today, Chris?
Right on. So we kind of leaked this last week. This is the concept art for the Walking Dead dungeons. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of build this out with the community today.
That sounds fantastic, man.
This is more or less inspiration. I don't know if it'll look exactly like this when we're done. There's a bunch of props and some other things that haven't been created yet, but we'll see how close we can get. And the one thing that isn't really in this concept piece is kind of the mood lighting that we want to get and capture, which we will probably do if there's time. So I'll try to move quick, and we can just get rolling here. But
go for it, man.
I feel like maybe you could put a timer on me, maybe around the when there's maybe like 6 minutes left in the stream, give me a heads up, and then we'll switch to lighting, because we could keep decorating until I could fill up the whole hour, no problem.
Okay, you got it, man. You got it.
We'll
give you how about 15 minutes for this, and then move on to lighting from there. How's that sound?
Right on. Yeah, that sounds great.
Let's do it, guys. And as you're talking, just so you guys are aware, I'm going to be watching the chat in both YouTube and Gala Gold in Discord, which, by the way, join our Discord at galagames.chat and become a member of Gala Gold, because honestly, it's just a good idea at this point in time. There's a lot of stuff that you get to hear about in there that nobody else hears about. So yeah, we're gonna do some level building, and I'll be feeding some questions through if anything jumps up that I see as being particularly interesting. So let's do it, man.
Sweet. Yeah, ask me anything at any time if you have questions on stuff, or you're like, actually, I don't want that in the level, get rid of it. So we can create on the fly here. So we'll just be decorating out. This is kind of basically one section of our dungeon. So the idea that we kind of like, you ever play with those like Brio track sets when you were a kid? Those like little wooden toys. Yeah, like that's kind of like the thought process for how we're going to assemble our dungeons, where we're just going to have like these different sections, and then that'll allow us to, with the design team's help, to basically configure a dungeon with these like kind of modular kit pieces, I guess. So the other part of it too is we'll be able to like some stuff in gameplay. Boards that come through open areas, and yeah, there's some other stuff that I probably can't talk about yet, but yeah, it should be pretty fun. So usually when I start working on something, I'll kind of get the game view up here. So that's kind of what's happening here. So this is like the editor window where I have kind of the level I'm working on, and then like over here is kind of like a bunch of props that I've grabbed that are available in the project, that kind of like my Lego pieces, I guess, if you kind of think about it in those terms. So I've got
nice
garbage pieces and decals for dirt and grass, and then like some of the things that you kind of expect to see like in a metro station, like benches, and then like I think there's like some vending machines and stuff that I have over here that are kind of fun. So we'll start to pull those things in. But the main thing that I'm going to focus on when I start is just making sure what the player will see is readable and will work. So I think the plan for this particular piece is that the player would enter here or exit this doorway, and then they'd have access to this area. So we'll probably need to like block this exit off, and then the hope is to get them funneled down through an exit down at the bottom here. Oh yeah, here it's right here. So that's kind of like the rough gameplay. So we basically want to like create a path, visual path for the player, to kind of discover this next entryway that will lead to the next section of the dungeon. So as you can kind of see, like there's more art that's been built over here, but this is like at a higher elevation than the bottom floor. So players probably won't be able to access this area over here. So I probably don't need to worry about details beyond this wall. So I'll probably just be mainly focusing kind of in this main section here. So with that, let's get rolling here. So I think
as you get moving, I just want to draw attention to one thing really quick. How freaking cool is this, guys? Like, how freaking cool is this to be able to participate in creation in this way? This is not something I have ever seen before, and this is profoundly powerful. So continue, Chris.
No worries. But yeah, like I was talking about earlier, where it's like if we want to try to funnel the player down this path, putting something like this, like the car, maybe came off the rails and like it's like jammed into the front of this piece here. So that'll help kind of like guide the player right out of the gate. Kind of basically kind of breadcrumb the players, kind of like what we described when we build levels sometimes, like the Hansel and Gretel, metaphor of leaving like the trail of breadcrumbs so that the player a good idea of like, hey, this is eating something, So, so if we do that, that should be kind of fun. And then I think stuff to start out with is maybe be some of these garbage piles here. So just gonna grab a few of these.
Some good looking trash.
I think so. A lot of these were assets that I built in another program called Maya, and it's pretty fun workflow that we created. Most games now are using this PBR rendering, it's like physically based shaders. Anybody that's more technically inclined on the environment part or game creation, we're kind of doing like a hybrid thing for our game, so that way we can actually load as much detail as we want into the world, which is pretty cool. We basically we're doing Nanite before Unreal was a thing. So the newest version of Unreal Engine has this tech called Nanite, which basically lets you put as much detail as you want into the environment you desire, and the engine will just kind of push it to solve for it. And I wanted to do something similar to that, so we actually came up with this kind of tech tree with the way that we author our assets, where basically everything that you're seeing on screen right now, other than Michonne and the weapon, they're all using this like library of materials that is pretty performant. So we're heavily utilizing a workflow that allows us to get as many assets as we want kind of into the game world. Like all these assets, usually like an asset would have its own unique texture sheet. That's not how we're doing stuff with our game. We basically have a material for metal, a material for wood, a material for plastic, basically kind of all the standard materials that you'd have access to as a builder for the game. And you would basically decide, is this object built out of metal or plastic or wood or whatever it is, and then based on that, apply the correct material to it. So we're able to push, a lot of content essentially without much worry about overloading the system. So it's kind of a pretty cool tool that we have to get.
I like how the grass is animated.
Yeah, the grass is pretty fun. That was a shader that we made that like the whole the whole prefab, the entire dungeon would be grass if you wanted to. I don't know if it was.
So I have a really important question from the community. Two of them. The first is, how is the grass growing underground? I'm assuming the top of this has gotten burnt off at some point in time. So, that's important. But more importantly, Free wants to know that since Diablo has a hidden cow level, can we have a hidden chicken level? Like, I feel like there needs to be something in Tweety that's just a level that has a bunch of chickens.
Okay.
Or one area on the map. It's very important.
Okay, this does sound important. I agree. Mainly because we want to kill chickens.
Everything.
Because I wouldn't mind modeling a chicken. Like that sounds fun. Making a 3D asset of a chicken. I've done that a few times actually.
A chicken walker, something like that, maybe.
Oh, zombie chicken.
Zombie chickens.
So I tried to get a a zombie bear into the game, but AMC didn't go for it. I guess
It doesn't fit with the lore. Yeah.
The virus of whatever. I don't know if they ever explained, how the outbreak
Walkerification
actually happened, but yeah, I feel like they didn't really want to do that with the lore of
that's fair. That's totally fair.
Zombified animals, but that does sound cool.
I think the technical term we have to use is walkerified, right?
Right. Yeah, they're not technically zombies; they're walkers, biters. I think they had a bunch of different names for them on the show, so that's interesting.
This is so cool to watch, though. I absolutely love this. Now I see as you mouse over that the floor tiles also are selectable. Do you have the ability to modify specific floor tiles, or is that just like a snapping feature or something?
Yeah, so this is just like one section chunk, I guess, is what we're calling it. So this is its own piece.
Oh,
we'll
gotcha.
Basically, build out, probably 20 or 30 of these pieces, and then decorate them accordingly. But it gives us the ability to make an asset like this, have a specific type of gameplay that we want, and then we can clone it and duplicate it, and then in this room we might have a treasure chest that you discover, or this room might have a bunch of walkers that come in from the entrance or whatever. So that's what this piece is. This is our this basically will indicate to the player an entrance or an exit that they can have access to. So that'll basically be the way that they entered into the dungeon.
Oh, there you go.
Then probably put the exit down here for this piece. Section of the dungeon.
So Gala Gold wants to know if you can write Gala Gold on the floor.
I could with
like I said, I saw you got some letters over there. That would make their day, I think. Just
Gala
saying.
Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are all of our decals for miscellaneous like road pieces and things like that. So we use these to spell out bus stop bay 1. Or,
Sure.
So we could probably put some Easter egg in here, I guess, if we wanted to. All gold written on the tracks back here, I guess. We could sneak it in here.
Nice. There you guys go.
It's
on the gold platform.
I forgot the A, so we'll have to add the A at some point. Because it tested my spelling. I'm an artist. I'm not the best speller.
That's okay. We forgive you.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, you gotta get the L and the O switched around there. Glod.
Well, I need the A.
Oh, there we go. I see what you're doing.
Okay. You guys are on a delay, so I don't know if this is.
Well, I'm watching. Oh shit, you're right. I'm watching the wrong thing. Oh yeah, that's better. Too many windows, too many tabs.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries, man.
There we go. Can't spell. Now we can. Oh, okay. Oh, it's always stuff breaks when you try to do a live demo.
Of course. Don't worry. Hey man, they appreciate, and I appreciate the effort regardless. So don't even stress it. Dude, that looks awesome.
Okay, we got Gala Gold going on now.
So Rusky's got a question. I'm gonna hit the question really quick. So you don't have to worry about this one. He asks, would it be possible to have ads on loading screens or even in games on a billboard for other projects or businesses? So that's something that I personally think is super interesting. However, from a both user perspective and development perspective, it typically doesn't, like, people don't tend to engage with them all that much. It is a thing that has been talked about for a variety of other games.
Yeah. Right now our ads, we don't really have any ads, billboards yet.
Yeah.
I think we have one billboard in the game. But yeah, we need to make a full kit of billboards and stuff like that. But
Probably have to use
I
that
wouldn't.
billboard to advertise for ahead of the game. Just saying,
There you go.
you know.
Yeah, you need a shout out. That'd be good. Let's see here. I think I want to use these.
I also think I'd make a particularly good walker. Just saying, you know.
Huh? We could put you in the game. You might have to
I can have a hoodie, you know.
talk illegal.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They're not going to. They'll let you put me wherever. That's not an issue. It's just as long as AMC doesn't have a problem with me being, you know, all corpseified.
Oh, we should do it. I knew it'd go quick.
Yeah, that flew by, man. I wasn't even paying enough attention. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So that's 15 minutes there. So
yeah,
this is so much fun, man. Thank you so much for showing. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, we didn't get too far.
Dude, but that's awesome. That's
if we want
super cool.
Switch to the lighting thing, then we can. So this was
I think that would be super cool to see. People would love that.
Yeah. So let's you mentioned earlier that you thought it was odd that grass would be growing down in this tunnel. But I did have a thought on that.
There you go.
Make it look like there was a hole in the ceiling and lights coming through. So
there's subspace. That's why there's grass.
Let's figure this out here. So I'm gonna change the overall lighting level. So usually when I do lighting, I try to define our darkest darks, and then I'll add light beyond that. So turn the lighting.
I'd love to learn the little process things, like how you guys think about this, like defining the darkest darks first. That is a thing that would not have occurred to me.
Yeah, it's easier to work from dark to light, at least for me. Like every artist does things a little differently, but usually that's how I like to work. So
that's super cool.
We just got some light kind of spilling in here from the roof. It's above us that you can't see, but I think players can figure that part out. But it still doesn't look perfect yet because we haven't actually added lights. So let's do that. So add a spotlight. So there's different lights that you can have. Some are more expensive than others. For this particular thing, we just kind of want like a pool of light in this area. So it's gonna.
And when you say more expensive, do you mean, you know, computationally expensive?
Yeah, it just depends, like the type of light that you use, and you know whether it casts shadows or it doesn't cast shadows. So there's a bunch of different you know different lights for different things. You know, basically. So this is a pro cheat that I use. I'll make the light like a bright pink, even though it doesn't look great. I can at least tell like what's being affected by this light,
right?
Pretty easily. So I can basically dial in, you know, the range that I want this, you know, thing to affect, and then also the intensity. So if I want this to look like, you know, the sun is really like hitting this area pretty high. Maybe there's like two spots that are like broken in the ceiling. Maybe this one's not as bright. And I can basically kind of treat it like that, and then I put this, so it's actually pointed at where it's coming in. And then change it to an actual color that won't be gross. Surface of the sun, look how bright that is. Yeah, that still might be too bright.
That's really cool, man.
That's the first one. This one's kind of one. So the light's kind of coming in through the ceiling. And then overall, I think I might have gone too dark with the overall lighting. So I'm going to bring this up just a hair so players can see what they're doing.
There you go.
Let's see if I take this at time. So like a lot of the lighting stuff, you just kind of constantly noodle with numbers, kind of get it dialed in, what looks good. But yeah, it's usually a lot of back and forth.
Now, I'm going to ask a question from somebody in YouTube, and the way that he worded it is really interesting. And I understand why he worded it this way, because I've had conversations with multiple artists about this topic, and it's very interesting. I think, have you and I even had this conversation? I feel like we've had this conversation.
I know.
He says, I have a question, and I mean this in the most respectful way. How does AI help you guys build, or do you utilize any of the new AI developments in your work streams?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Do you have any thoughts on that in general?
Yeah, AI is gonna take all of our jobs, right? You just type it into the computer and it's done.
Yeah,
But
make a level for
I
I
think it's
find
I
find it interesting.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting question. I think right now Adobe's in a beta right now for like 2D AI generation through like a text prompt that you just basically type in something, and then it's like, okay, it does its best to generate an image based on what you type in. But I think the tools to do that on a 3D asset, I don't think the tech's quite there yet. Probably maybe in the next, I mean, that stuff's moving so quickly, but I feel like
It's moving
within
really fast.
6 months to a year, we might have something. But there's so many factors to 3D art, and until there's like supercomputers or cloud computers that can run anything that you would type into that prompt,
Right.
I don't necessarily see it. Like, I think a good step probably is with Unreal Engine and like Nanite basically maybe solving part of that, where you could basically display as much content as you want on screen and not worry about performance. But I think it's going to be a while before mobile phones and game consoles are at that click where they can literally load in anything and not have it completely crap out on you.
One of the things that I think is really interesting, and I had a conversation with somebody at GDC about this specific topic, and it was essentially around the idea that you can have a computer or a generative art in some way, shape, or form, can create something that's cool, right, and that looks good, but what it can't do yet is assign the deeper cultural meaning behind whatever the thing is that's being created, right? It knows that maybe, for example, a newspaper looks good on the sidewalk here in this specific spot, but if you zoom in, what does the cover of the newspaper say, and what is the implication of that? Dude, that looks so nice. That is very cool. I'm going to ditch the hat here for a second. Okay, awesome. That looks really, really cool. I've got the dirty floor. Awesome. Well, Chris, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk about all of this with us, and to share these updates. I think that I personally freaking love that. It is so much fun to watch, and I thank you for sharing it. I know that the community did as well, and I know that there's a lot of questions out there of the whens and the whatnot. But you're not going to get an answer to that question today, people. I'm sorry. We were joking before the stream that I should just get on here and announce a date for the next playtest, and then make the entire Tweety team back into it. But I'm not going to do that to people because that wouldn't be nice. And yeah,
you'd make
I
all
think
kinds
I'd
of
get in
friends.
trouble. Tons and tons of friends, all the friends. Zach would be so happy with me. Would be lots of fun. But anyway, thank you very much, Chris. I look forward to having you guys on again and being able to show more of what you've got going on. And we're gonna grind on with the rest of these updates.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for having me. It's my pleasure. Maybe next time we have me back for round 2, we'll I'll show.
Are you on
show
Twitter
you guys
or anything like that? Is there a place
finished.
where people can go to see stuff? Do you post anything anywhere? If you don't, that's fine. Just throwing it out there. Probably should ask you this in advance.
My personal stuff.
Up to you. Up to you.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if you feel like sharing like a Twitter or something, this is a great opportunity to do so.
Right on. Actually, I'm just on ArtStation. Most artists usually have an ArtStation, but yeah, I use Pixel Patron on ArtStation as well.
On ArtStation.
Yep.
Awesome. There you go, man. Thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Let's drive on. Okay, guys. So thank you very much for that. We've got a little bit more time. I've got a bit of an update for Eternal Paradox, which I know that everybody is excited about. Let me get my chat windows up here correctly. Okay, great. So Eternal Paradox, there is going to be, starting on June 25th at 5 p.m. or 5 UTC, 0500 UTC. So that's 5 a.m. UTC. There is a Rings of Ruin conquest that is going to be starting in Eternal Paradox. Now, very, very, very important here. Players must join a guild and have earned guild contribution points to participate or to receive rewards. Why is my camera blinking at me? Why are you doing this, camera? Hopefully I don't burn out here. If I do, we're going to go to interview here pretty soon anyway, so I can turn it off and cool it down. Okay, so you must join a guild and earn guild contribution points to participate. If your guild contribution points are 0, you will not be able to participate. So get into Eternal Paradox ASAP, join a guild, and contribute to that guild. Joining, leaving, and disbanding a guild are restricted during the conquest. So you got to do this. You got to do this soon. Oh no, the camera just died. Technical it's not. Just take it back to put up an Eternal Paradox picture if you got one, Paul. Anyway, I'm just gonna. Can they still hear me? I'm gonna keep talking. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys. Sorry about that. The rules for the Rings of Ruin Conquest will run for an hour and 30 minutes. At the start of the conquest, all exploration sites will become available for occupation, and the Rings of Ruin will open after 30 minutes. Each guild can occupy a maximum of 5 exploration sites. Guilds will earn occupation points and buffs when they occupy that site. The guild with the highest occupation points at the end of the conquest will be the winner. Silver points will be rewarded to the top 3 guilds in the conquest. First place being 250,000. I think that's 2. There might be an addition, a bunch of silver points. A smaller number of silver points in second place. I feel like it's 250,000. I feel like that's supposed to be 250,000, but maybe it's 250. And I'm just reading this incorrectly. 250 units of some sort, 150 units of some sort, and 50 units of some sort for first, second, and third place. So this is going to be something that is super freaking cool for everybody. So I highly encourage you guys to get into Eternal Paradox, get ready to absolutely crush it. And then one final piece here, and then I'm actually going to drop out and let this play out because it's going to go to an interview, and then we'll just close out. I think I'll be here and get my camera back up so I can say goodbye at the last few moments. But the Ahead of the Game episode 3, which we ended up doing as a Discord stream and a Twitter space, is going up on YouTube, available tomorrow. So get ready for that, and you're going to see some of that soon. And then also, starting sometime next week, you will be able to download your full account history from your Gala Games account, which is something that a lot of people have been asking for. And I think that people will be very excited to see that and happy to be able to go through that. So that will be helpful for a variety of reasons for you guys. Anyway, we're going to go to an interview with Icy, and I'm going to kill this camera, and I'll talk to you guys in a few minutes. Thank you so much for joining so far, and enjoy our conversation with Icy. Hey everyone, welcome to the community interview portion of Ahead of the Game. Here we've got Icy. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Jason. Thank you for bringing me on. I'm super excited to be here.
We're very happy to have you here. I've been enjoying your content, seeing a lot of cool stuff showing up on Twitter and on the YouTubes. So it's good to have you here, man. So you've seen us do this before. You know what this is about, but before we dig into that, let's talk a little bit more about you. Tell us a little bit more about who you are. Who is Icy?
Yeah,
Who's this man we see before us?
Great question. I don't even know where to begin. I'll give the quick pitch. Found crypto in 2017, fell in love, went down the rabbit hole, drank the Kool-Aid, got into gaming, rode like DeFi summer 2020, found crypto gaming like late 2021. And fell in love. It was like the first use case for NFTs that I was like, oh, this makes sense.
This actually makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, I might not be big brain enough to cover all these DeFi protocols, but I can play some games and make some YouTube videos. Yeah. So
most of the DeFi protocols are bullshit anyway. So it's don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Gaming's where it's at.
We were talking about that at GDC, so I agree. So yeah, started streaming, having fun with some content, started a YouTube channel, founded Web3 Gamer to kind of be like an independent media news source, just covering Web3 gaming. Really, it was like an exploration of the intersection of blockchain and gaming. That's something I'm really passionate about. I think it's the best use case for blockchain, and will onboard millions and millions of people one day. So just having fun in the space.
We're getting there, man. What would you say as someone who, because I've been in crypto now for so long, I can't even freaking, it's ridiculous. What would you say? And you actually, come to think of it, I know 2017 feels like yesterday to those of us who have been in the space forever and ever, but 2017, that's a long time ago now.
Yeah.
So it's a long time ago. You came in just at the tail end of the ICO craze and all of the insane shenanigans that took place there. So you've been here as a seasoned veteran now. What would you say the number one thing that has to happen in order to get more people into this this environment that we shared together here?
It's the UI and UX. We all know this. The user onboarding is horrible. 12-word seed phrases, MetaMask, all that stuff, which is why I'm passionate about gaming, right? That's gaming leads technology, right? This is where the technology is developed to make it easy and onboard people. And that's really not something that I'm seeing still be the focus of DeFi, really. Like they're still coming up with these crazy protocols and all this stuff. And it's like, but gaming is pushing forward because they understand what gamers want, what the customer actually wants. So we're building out like, hey, the blockchain tech will be, underneath, behind the scenes. You log in with your account, it handles it all, seamless. We're not there yet, but I think that gaming understands it and is pushing that forward. And
I agree.
And that's what's gonna onboard a bunch of people.
I fully agree with that. Well, let's jump in and we'll do these interview questions here. So how did you first hear about Gala?
Oh man, great question, Jason. I think actually at NFT NYC last year. But I gotta be honest, I was still new to the whole Web3 gaming space. Again, I saw CryptoKitties and I saw like what happened with Axie, but really Web3 Gamer started as me like, hey, let me learn as much as I can. So I went to NFT NYC, heard about Gala there. Seemed like there was this massive ecosystem, Galaverse. They were talking about Galaverse and Gala Film, and I was like, "Whoa!" It was too much for me to even process everything, to be honest.
Sure.
And then it was really, I think Superior came out late fall last year, so that made a big splash. And I started to find out through the games, and then I met.
That is the best way.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Then I met with Seif at my award show and we had exchanged some DMs, and I've been, slowly coming more into the Gala ecosystem. But I'm still like, I would say as of all the guests that you've had on the show so far, I'm maybe like more of an outsider.
The newest.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That makes your man. It's one of those things that's difficult to say without irritating somebody. But that makes your perspective particularly valuable. This is not to imply that other perspectives are not valuable. Just that I would love to hear from you then, as someone who's relatively new to our ecosystem and to the kind of gaming space in general. What would you say is something that we suck at? What are we terrible at?
I don't know if you guys suck or are terrible at anything. I
have a list. I have a list. It's significant. I'll share if you want, but continue.
and I'm sure people may have their criticisms or feedback, but from the outside perspective, from the casual, gamer, Web3 gamer side of things, like I look to Gala as one of the pioneers that's pushing forward in the space, bringing a lot of professionalism, doing a lot of great things in the space. So I don't know if you guys like suck at anything in particular. From my perspective, where
can we do better then?
Yeah. One of the things that I would love to see, and I know it's tough because you guys have so many games, you're working on so much, and gaming is tough. Blockchain is tough. Being a publisher is tough. I would love to see more collaborations with other participants in the Web3 gaming space. Other games. Whether that just be like, content or podcasts or Twitter spaces or things like that. I know you've done some, but I think that we're so, insular with our community that, Gala is the behemoth and like the pillar, but sometimes it feels maybe a little bit more of a, I don't want to say closed ecosystem, but, you guys are kind of
not as collaborative. I mean, that's one of the things is that when you have, dozens of titles, the focus becomes more on collaborating between those titles than collaborating with like random outside things.
And that might be the right strategy, right? Like you guys are on your mission to build Gala into, the leading. But like as me, as work, working with everybody and hanging out with everybody, it would be cool to see more of that crossover.
Fully agree with you there. That's something I want to see, and I think that you're going to see some stuff coming in Spider Tanks that will make you very happy.
Ooh, I like it.
So just things that are a smidge more collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so given that, what are some things that you feel that we do correctly and that we do well?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I've noticed a ramp up in the content, in communication, the YouTube lives, shout out to Wasif, organizing all these play tests and inviting the creators. That's the best way to get creators and people to play the game, right? Like I get DMs every day of like, hey, check out my game. And it's like, But if I get an invite to an event where all this stuff is happening, I get excited because I get to hang out with my friends and I get to play a new game. So you guys
Steve
are
is killing it. So
Oh.
he's very, very, very important and helpful, and I really like having him on our team. I think he's doing very good work.
Wasif has been an incredible friend and an incredible just person in the industry. So yeah, shout out to him. Super appreciate everything he does for the space. And maybe that's one thing, if I were to go back to the first question of like feedback, I know maybe, I think I know now 4 people. I just met Paul from the Gala space. It's you, Wasif, and Benefactor. And Classy, I guess, would be the 4th. And now Paul would be the 5th. Maybe because you have so many games and so much content and things going on, maybe having more faces of the and I know Classy's not an official part, but
he's not an official part. That is true.
But I get all my Gala information from Wasif and Classy is what I would say.
Okay.
And as big as Gala is, maybe you probably need a few more people.
We're trying. I think that one of the things we were just talking about this morning, and that you're going to see, is that the vision for ahead of the game and the vision for what we're doing in terms of these sort of this increased cadence of communication is eventually, and I'll just share this so everybody else knows where we're going with this. Eventually, what we'd like to see is think of it almost like a morning news show type style, where we'll have an hour of content that's like this, AMA components tied into it, and then we'll have the Spider Tanks hour, and it will be curated content that comes from the community that is being voiced over by somebody like Levi, maybe live matches, things like that as well. And then we'll move on to the Superior hour, and then the whatever, so that as we go through all of this, there's always something going on if you want to drop in and check stuff out. And I think that'll be good in terms of just getting an increase in visibility and increase in awareness, and being able to have a Twitch channel that's streaming 10, 12, 14 hours a day of new content all the time. I think that would be something that would really help bring people in and cement viewership in the space.
Gala Media, I love it.
That's what it is, right? I mean, like we have this film and music stuff. I mean, we might as well do something with it, right?
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. So then, what is something in the Gala ecosystem that you really look forward to?
Oh, great question. The games, I think that you guys again are pioneering and leading the space in the blockchain integration, which I really, really respect. I know you guys just had V2 and burned a ton, which I really, really respect. I enjoyed that. I tuned in live for that. But yeah, it's the game. It's the games, right?
It's always about the games. It's got to be the games.
About the games. Yeah,
it's got to be the games.
It's the games, but again, that crossover between how you're using the blockchain and making it a core piece of the gaming experience and the ecosystem is important to me. Right. But yeah, just everything that you guys are doing. I mean, again, Wasif has invited me to a bunch of play tests, and I've really enjoyed getting behind the scenes. So like Last Remains, I can't wait to play that again.
Well, there's that. I think you mean the Walking Dead Empires, right?
I enjoyed that one. I'm sorry. No.
Last Expedition.
Last Expedition. I apologize.
There you go.
So many.
There's so many games. I absolutely understand and would not dare criticize based on that, because God knows I do that myself personally sometimes. I'll be like on an interview or something, and somebody will ask me about a game, and I'm like, crap. Am I which game am I talking about right now? I hope this is the right one. It's so I understand. It's not a problem.
I did enjoy the Walking Dead playtest though. I was a part of that and the Last Expedition, and both of them were really, really good.
Nice. Well, we'll have to squad up on Last Expedition. I think I need somebody to carry me. I can't do it myself.
Yeah. I'll do my best. We'll get
Wasif in there, and we'll get Classy in there, and then the four of us will do a squad. It'll be good.
Classy carries, man.
Classy does carry. Classy carries, and then we'll have to. Yeah, I don't want to be against Classy. I have to. So you remember a while back, I think I actually did. You kill me in Grit? I think you did kill me in Grit.
No, that wasn't me. But I do enjoy all these clips I'm seeing on Twitter. When Classy gets to kill you in there.
These things here. Okay, this is
wow.
a solid aircraft aluminum.
Oh my god.
Here, let me put it in front of my face. There you go, so you can see it. A solid aircraft or titanium, rather, aircraft titanium keychain that I'm getting ready to go send a bunch of these out today to all of the people who killed me. And I will get you I can get you one of these as well if you would like. But I also and you know, this is one of the perks of coming on as a community member and talking about this is we've got a hoodie for you, man. Personalized hoodie.
I saw that on the last episode, and I'm very excited about that. I appreciate that. I got to shout out Gala merch real quick because your merch is incredible. I've got your power bank back here, and I also have one of the Gala shirts.
There you go.
The quality
those power banks are legit, man. They're legit.
Super legit, and the quality of the Gala shirt that I have is top notch. It's so comfortable. So really appreciate that.
Oh, we do good stuff, man. All of our t-shirts, we have a whole merch incentive or merch program that's rolling out here shortly. All of the shirts are 10 trees, so they're like literally the best shirts that you can get. So I think everyone will be very happy with that.
Nice.
But anyway,
again, you guys are doing it right, man. You guys are doing it right.
We're trying. Well, thank you very much for joining today, Icy. Appreciate it. And let's get back to the rest of the program. And I will see you in Last Expedition sometime. Thanks, man.
Thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure.
And we are back. And as you can see, the camera is working again. I just posted a picture in Gala Gold of my camera draped in a wet towel that's cooling it off right now. And I got some fans turned on. I think I need to build a little camera cooler. I got some case fans sitting around. So something's going to be constructed here to keep this from happening again. Thank you very much for your patience. So typically, this would be all the time that we would have. Because I usually have a toddler who is screaming for food at about this time that I need to go take care of. But I'm going to tack on 15 extra minutes here just for you guys, because I know there's some questions that people have that they would like to hear a little bit more about. So for the next 15 minutes, we're going to go ahead and do an AMA. I'm going to be pulling questions from Gala Gold and from the YouTube chat. So yes, Gala merch is going to be a thing. You guys will be able to order these hoodies. I believe that actually may kick off early next week. You may be able to place these orders. Initially, the hoodie orders are not going to be personalized, but you can go select your size and all of that. But if you come on here, you get a special personalized hoodie that I am personally paying for out of pocket. So, and I think that one of the people that we're going to have on here pretty soon, because we just talked about it on Twitter, is Forged in Crypto. And he says he's going to come up here to where I am, and we'll do a special episode. And we will do this together from probably a barcade somewhere, because he wants to involve whiskey in this conversation. So actually, it's probably not going to be ahead of the game. It's probably going to be a special feature like a BitBender, Forged in Crypto, and Booze thing, but that's going to be a thing. Subspace would like to get access to my list of things that Gala can improve on. I don't share that list. It's just a constant drumbeat in my head of stuff that I feel we can do better on. I mean, honestly, guys, this is one of those things, and aside from my role here, and aside from what I do here, this is what life is about, right? It's about constant improvement. It's always finding a way to do something better. You can never do more than the best that you can with what you have, but you can always push things a little bit further. And so that never-ending improvement, that never-ending quest to find some little thing to make better. I mean, and that's what Ahead of the Game's about, right? That's why we're here having these conversations, is because there was a gap. There was a gap in communication that needed to be filled. And so that's what this has been about. It's about filling that gap, constantly improving, making things better. I mean, those of you guys who have been in the community for a really long time, you know, go back and look at some of the think back to the early conversations that we had. The first time you guys saw me on YouTube, back when there was like 25 subscribers to the channel. And think of how far we've come and how much improvement has happened in that time. Absolutely critical. Amazing. Free wants information about Dragon Strike. Free, I'm sorry, I don't have that information. I pinged people about it. Actually, I meant to ping people. I did not ping them. And that's a bummer. But I really want to get you additional information. I just don't have any, or I have stuff, but it's not confirmed, and so I don't want to get myself in trouble by saying something. Okay. Let's see. You will be able to get Gala hoodies, probably ordering next week, Mohammed. So I think that'll be a cool thing, and they will ship globally. So everywhere that you want to order from, that they should be able to be shipped there. Founder Node Holder asks, when can we build crane bots again? That's part of the Townstar thing, but one of the critical parts of this is that building of crane bots and all of that is going to be a thing that happens on Gala Chain. And now that, you know, things are being migrated over there, that's a thing. And, you know, in fact, all of the crypto crafting concept is the thing that can probably be picked up here again in the fairly near future. Yeah, 20 unknown. Yeah, I had a hair there then. It was terrible. It was terrible hair. I should never have had that hair. Tofu would like an update on the benefactor box. So I don't know whether it's a $10 benefactor box or I'm not sure exactly what the price point is, but one of the critical things that we want to do is we want to make it so that there's a really easy way for people to enter the ecosystem. And part of that is this box. This is an idea that did, I believe, come from Benefactor. And it's going to be pretty cool. I know that we've been having a lot of different meetings internally on exactly how it's going to roll out, exactly what it's going to do. I don't know how much of that is cleared to release, but I do know that at a certain point in time, a Citadel's involved. So I can say that. But I don't know what else I can say, so I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to get myself in trouble. Let's see. Are there any plans for the winter warmer that includes 2 months of membership to the Gala Entertainment Club? I cannot speak to anything that is Gala Entertainment related because I just simply don't know. So I don't know what their plans are for that. Matt Chu asks, will I meet you guys in Grit again? Yes, absolutely. I will be in Grit again. And this is especially true given some of the tokenomic updates that are coming there. And I did see somebody complaining a bit about the fact that there would potentially be another token. And I'll just talk a little bit about that. So one of the issues is that the tokenomics model that Grit had was based on this concept of a percentage of spend being something that would go back out to the community. The problem is that most of the consumables in Grit are relatively inexpensive, and it's Ethereum based. And until there's a point in time where it moves over to Gala Chain, which may be something that happens in the future, you know, it's difficult for people to justify spending, you know, a certain amount on that. So spend in Grit was quite low, which meant that the amount that would go out to people was also quite low, low enough that it was something that I was not personally comfortable releasing because it was not okay. It was just extremely low. So what I wanted to do is find a way to introduce another variable. And so what this does is this allows us to build a system much like Spider Tanks, which I think you guys who have been here for a while have seen a turnaround. And that's what we would like to get started. But it's an improvement over the model of Spider Tanks in some regards, as well as an experiment in others, because we're looking, don't want to say too much right now, but we're looking at doing things in a slightly different way in regards to the concept of honor. So, and if that works, then we move that into other areas as well. It's again that constant improvement, that constantly pushing something to be better. Maybe I've answered this before, but is Poker Go going to be a mobile game? Yes, it is going to be a mobile game. Gala plus Guinness, says Subspace. I'd be down for that. I'm a big fan of Guinness. I've never had a I've never seen a pint of Guinness that I did not like, so big fan of that. Let's see here. Gala, there's a bunch of questions from Le Faust. Faster, I haven't seen anything from Faster. They have not reached out to us that I'm aware of. If they'd like to, and they've pushed things along further, I would love to reopen conversations with them. And let's see. I would also love for Skyrim 6 to be on Gala, but that's not a thing that I see in the immediate future. Free, I'm sorry. Do you ever think games launched on Gala will also be under Web3 platforms and their games on yours? Any kind of partnership like that, would that be beneficiary? And that's coming from Lama in Gala Gold. Yeah, I think that would be beneficial. We've had conversations with, really everyone in the space. We're constantly looking for ways to, connect. But, like was said in the conversation with Icy, it's difficult to prioritize the integration of other people's things ahead of the integration and, work within the sort of the ecosystem, right? But that's definitely something that we would like to do. So that's going to be it's we would like to have that happen, but it's going to be behind a few other delays. LeFaust would like to know about Wizards and Warriors. I'll ask Dietmar about that. I've seen some really, really cool art, but I've been told specifically not to share any of it. So I will ask again. In fact, you know what? I'll type and ask right now. I'll do that literally this moment. Dietmar. Hello, Dietmar. I am on ahead of the game right now, and they would like to know about Wizards and Warriors. If we can share something next week, that would be awesome. However, I am telling them to not hold their breaths. I literally just typed that, and I'm sending it to Dietmar right now. I included a smiley face emoji though, so that's how you know I'm serious. Oh my god, I think my camera's overheating again to the point where the color's going out. Man, it is warm up here. Okay, guys, let's see. When will? Wow, what is going on with my camera? This is nuts. Okay, will PokerGo have a custom avatar profile? It's like burning. 1 second, guys. Let me make a quick modification here to this. I apologize for the weird chroma key freakiness that you're seeing right now. Okay, that should I may start ending up having weird spots and holes in me, but at least you shouldn't see the background bleed through. Anyway, okay, back to the questions. Does Gala Games have a person that can reach out to Asmongold? I feel that if he knew Gala Games, what Gala Games can do for him, that he would be very interested. I don't have a person. I mean, if Wasif happens to know him or know a path to him, then that would be cool, but I don't personally. Emily Warren says everything is made better with a smiley face. I agree. Fully agree. Kryptones, since we're branching out to poker, what about bringing other more common games like chess to the chain? Blockchain into fantasy sports. So here's one of the things that I want to talk about really quick, actually. And this was something that got leaked a little bit today, earlier on a show that I did with Stash, who's hopefully listening here. And if you didn't see that, go check it out. There is a social network that is building on Gala Chain. Now, super critical, this is not us building a social network. We're not doing that. I don't want to do that. What it is someone else building on Gala Chain. What this means is that in the relatively not insanely distant future, there will be other people. Oh my God, I'm falling apart. I'm de-resing right now in front of you guys. In the not too distant future, other people will be able to come in and, you know, do some of this building. And so the reason that I mention that is that if somebody wants to come build a chess thing, I encourage them to come build a chess thing. I would love to see that happen. And eventually, when we get to a point where we're, you know, advancing this in a, you know, fully permissionless fashion, eventually, then I would love to see that, and I would love to work with people and help promote cool stuff that is coming. There's other things from other industries that are also on their way that have nothing to do with us building them. It's just us basically taking the technology that we've created over the years and making it available to them for them to build on. So yeah, that's a little bit of what's going on there. Noob Miner 1911 asks, when are play to earn rewards going to be reintroduced to the Townstar game? Hopefully, I don't know an exact date, but I know it's still a thing that is moving forward. So keep an eye out for that. Let's see. Tofu has a great Trello that tracks a bunch of stuff, so I encourage you to take a look at that. And Subspace would like to know. So it's not an established social network. Subspace. It's not like, you know, a thing that you probably know about. Maybe you do. You might, but probably not. But it's super cool, and I am very excited about it. Okay, guys. Anything else? Any other questions? I gotta go run some errands and feed little people and let my poor camera, you know, cool down. Okay, guys. Well, I think that that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you very much for joining Head of the Game, episode 5. Come see us next week, same time. We will be here, and we're going to have more updates, more leaks, and more awesomeness. So go ahead and hit like and subscribe and retweet and tell all your friends and write your grandmother about it so she can watch too, because she probably needs to get on this whole Web3 gaming bandwagon, because honestly, until she's interested, we're not reaching the mass market. So awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Peace. Love y'all. BitBender out.